give the Wolves plenty of space and get into your opposition half, then you are in a lot of trouble. This guy will work overtime. Westwood has had a fantastic season.
Good hit, though, by Bryn Hargreaves on him. There's John Clark. Pops the ball up for Adrian Morley. Morley taking on Cunningham, taking on Tony Pulatua. Brought to ground. Clark is the dummy half. Centre field, midway inside the Saints half of the field. Clark with a good driving run again. And Gareth Carvel looks as though he's up for this. Here is Clark at dummy half. Gets the ball away and finds Breers. Breers long pass out wide to Bridge. Bridge short then to King. He's in the corner is Matt King. First try to the Warrington Wolves.
Silly penalty given away by Soliola, going very, very high on Ben Harrison. Gave them the impetus, but gave them most importantly the position. This was a beautiful pass out wide from Breers, and that is a great finish. Nothing was going to stop them. What's the Saint defence? They point and then they hesitate. Wilkinson left in no man's land. Couldn't get the numbers across. King, he's had a fine season. Had an incident last week, remember? Holland Leeds. Radford got himself sent off.
That was the first drive from Louis Anderson. Here comes Ben Harrison. Harrison gets to within 4 metres of the St Helens line. Clark waits again, pointing. Director of operations there, finds Monaghan. Monaghan then to Breers. Breers attacks the line. Good ball to Mathers. Out wide it goes to Bridge. King is in again. Second move down that right wing. Second try for Matt King. Second try for Warrington.
Lose your control. No doubt in it that Clark has got the elbow straight into Graham. But sometimes the officials won't see it. He retaliates. They get the position. They got the penalty. And it's Breers yet again. Pass out wide. Super combination. Mathers, Bridge, King. A duplicate of the first try. Superb stuff. In wet conditions, they are playing quick hands. Not selfish, was he, Bridge?
This will go behind the second row.
That nearly went to the fullback.
Here is Wilkin. Now then, Wilkin will play it to Gidley, who find Hargreaves, following Mick Potter to Bradford Bulls next year. Bryn Hargreaves. Cunningham is there, retiring at the end of the year. Now it's Matty Smith. He gets it away to Soliola. Warrington muscling up in defence again. Cunningham. Pulatua.
These are the right tactics by Saints. They don't need to come up with anything fancy. They've got to make sure they get over the advantage line. They've got a good kicking game themselves.
Graham gets the ball back to Matty Smith. Here is John Wilkin. Now it's Gidley again. Gidley surrounded by three. Monaghan was there. So too Riley, so too Atkins. Last tackle here for Saints. Kick from Smith. Bouncing everywhere. Off the post. Who's touchdown? Wellens is claiming it. But a bit of playoff history for him here.
Ideal tactics in wet weather. But it was pinpointed at the post. The padding did the rest. And you could see the look of horror on Paul Wellens' face when he skims past it and he says, oh, I've missed a golden opportunity. And then it comes again.
Tell you what, it's a great opportunity tonight for Matty Smith to show St Helens what they're going to be missing over the next couple of years. And he's taking full advantage of that. There's a massive hit now from Morley on Wilkin.
Oh, he said it was a knock-on. But crowd thought it was. Well, according to Richard Silverwood, it was a bit of a mess. He played the ball.
Cunningham gives it to Pulatua.
That's the biggest problem when you want to try to get on with it as quickly as possible. That could have been a penalty. That could have been deemed that Wilkin has actually played that ball forward, not backwards.
Here's Wilkin. Again, this time he plays it correctly to Cunningham. Now it's Flannery. And he goes down on the last tackle. Cunningham is in there again at dummy half and he's coming down the short side on his own. Cunningham! Oh, he's done it again! Kieran Cunningham has done it again! Kieran Cunningham, his debut against Warrington in 1994. This is his 16th try against the Wolves in as many years.
Completely confused the Warrington defence. The defence thought that he was going to go for another kick from Matty Smith. He threw the dummy. Get on the dance floor. This is superb. Cha-cha, Wolves, call it whatever you like, but it's worth 4 points. Warrington really need to keep this ball for some period of time. They failed to do that.
Gidley for St Helens. It's the early throes of autumn, but it is a warm and sultry night here at Nosey Road, despite the rain. It's almost tropical rain that we're getting.
I've got my coat up.
This is Roby. Back it comes to Matty Smith, on the inside to Wellens. Some great moves surrounding Matty Smith, considering he's only been training with the club since start of the week. And Graham will score! James Graham for St Helens.
Well, it didn't work, did it, before, when he dropped the ball, but they got the look at the bounce. It was a hand that got to it. They got the second set of 6, but on that occasion he twisted, and they had no answer for him. It went high, he went underneath, and boy, the scouts would have loved that.
Former St Helens half-back. His 352nd appearance for Warrington. He got 8 goals in their only Super League defeat of St Helens 2001 at Wilderspool. He left Saints 13 years ago, you know. And of course, goes without saying, he's never won here since.
And not likely to with producing passes like that. So I got the impression he was giving his teammates a real rollicking at the fact that they weren't moving onto the ball. It was a bad pass.
Cunningham and Roby combining, Morley and Harrison combining to quell the threat on halfway. Third tackle.
You know, there's a real furrow, isn't there, right down the middle that those Saints forwards have ground out time and time again. Picked up a knock.
Yeah, Graham's struggling. Cunningham. Oh, how on earth did he hang on to that?
Boy, that was good by Roby, wasn't it? Had to lean back for it. Not the best. It was a lazy pass.
Off the boot of Matty Smith. It goes high in the air. Riley drops it. Here's Wellens. Here's Wellens inside. And a try for Flannery.
This will be given.
And Flannery comes up with a try that just might see Saints into the qualifying semi-final in a fortnight's time.
Well, this was a rarity in this game, a high kick. Did Foster make contact? I think he did. They got the rub of the green. Wellens has had an absolutely wonderful game. Inside pass to Flannery. Is he onside? Oh, it's close, it's tight. Either way, they've got away with it. Riley will be claiming that he's taken out by Foster. He goes for it. He's certainly suspended in the air when there's contact, but they've got the rub of the green. Whilst everyone was looking around for the decision from the referee, Wellens said, I've been around too long for that. Wasn't that beautiful? You see the bend, you see how he twisted his body. He knew that there was support there.
But look where St Helens are. They have to begin this attack 2 metres away from their own line. Warrington now will hunt the mistake.
They won't worry, they've got themselves sorted out. Roby's already shouting before he went into the dummy half, just saying, come on, who's going to be next?
Melly's gone down there. It was really the meat in the sandwich then.
You may have heard the arm.
Yes, Melly receiving treatment. There's a problem there as Gardner plays the ball to Cunningham. That's good defence from Westwood. That's good defence from Warrington. 14 metres gained forward. The kick is charged down by Bridge. A chance here for Warrington. They will score. Chris Bridge will score for Warrington.
Little bit lax there, but good work from Bridge. Took the opportunity. As Eddie has mentioned, the rule is charge down, play on. Calm, cool and collected. Maybe.